What's poppin', pretty young thing? It's me, Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade Belle Collective Season 2, Episode 6 review. If you're new to this channel, I drop videos Monday through Sunday. Everything that I say on this channel is for entertainment purposes only and not to be taken seriously. If you like to joke and play around and don't take life so serious, then this is the channel for you. Let's get into tonight's episode review. The episode starts off exactly where we left off last week with Tamra confronting Damon or Damon or whatever the fuck this nigga name is about this emotional affair, connection, whatever he's supposed to have with Tysha, and that Letitia was the one that brought it to her. He was like, why would she say that? She was like, I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. And so he kind of like shuffling both feet or whatever, very stern, strict face. And we then see in their confessional, the producer asks him about it. He was like, man, next question. Then he says, during that time when Tamra was questioning him, that he has a friendly personality. He's friendly to everybody. And sometimes that gets him in trouble. But nah, that ain't true. And he don't do drama. I don't fully believe him just by his response and the attitude that came with it. It seems like there's more to the story than what we know, because why are you so irritated about something that ain't true? Like, if anything, I would have been like, what the fuck is you talking? Girl, don't play with me. Like, what? And then I would be like, nah, when I see her, we gonna confront her. Cause like, nah, we don't play them type of games. But hell no. But him having an attitude and being kind of lackadaisical about the whole thing really kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. I like Damon, but I think that he might have been on some bullshit in the beginning of them talking. Him and Tamra rekindling their relationship, because they weren't together last season when the show first started. So he might have been talking to both women, who knows? And I think now this shit might be catching up with him or whatever. But I would rather for him to say that instead of just acting like, nah, the shit didn't ever happen. It's something there. It's something there. I still like him and Tamra for each other. I think they complement each other very well. But there's something more to this story. So we then see Marie heading into a restaurant. She's going to meet up with Latrice and Letitia. And we see Letitia and Glenn in the parking lot arguing and shit, child. Meanwhile, Latrice down the way in the parking lot paying attention to everything that's going on, because she thought she was about to walk into the scene. And they out in the parking lot arguing in front of cameras and everybody in the parking lot. And she like, what are you doing, following me? And he was like, I'm following you because you wouldn't answer the phone and you moving funny and it ain't safe in Jackson. She like, what are you talking about? She's like, what did you think I was doing? And he was like, basically, he thought she might have been on some other shit. Like she might have been meeting up with a little sneaky link out here doing her own little thing. And she was like, Glenn, you have lost your goddamn mind. Like, this is low-key stalking, like stalking me. And he even admitted he got like one of his partners or somebody to follow her too. And she like, what the fuck are you doing? He was like, you need to answer the phone. I called you several times. You didn't answer the phone. You need to answer that phone. And in his confessional, he tells the producers like, no, she ain't got to keep I ain't got to keep tabs on her 24 hours a day. But when I call her, especially about something important, she need to answer the phone. Well, motherfucker, was you answering the phone when you was out here cheating on her? When you was out here having a baby on her? Oh, okay. All right. Was the streets of Jackson so fucking bad when you was out here slanging dick? Oh, all right. All right. When you was out here sitting on the dock of the bay. You know, he worked on a tugboat or some shit. So Glenn was like, once again, answer the phone, bro. Answer the phone, and walk off in his little jogging suit. And then this nigga getting his little Camaro and speed the fuck off. Just doing team too much. She pissed off. She all riled up and shit. So everybody goes into the restaurant and she tells the girls what happened. And Latrice like, you okay? And she was like, girl, yeah, like he just tripping. He think I'm out here doing something. He think I'm out here cheating. Like it's just team too much. So, you know, it's really good to see Latrice and Letitia, you know, getting along, being able to sit down and have a meal with each other and it not be no bullshit. I will say, after watching DJ Richie Scott's interview with Marie, that I believe everything that Marie said. I really honestly do think that she was telling the truth about how everything went down between her and Latrice. I think Latrice took it too far and realized what she did, and that's why she don't want to admit it, because if she admits it, then she knows that that's going to tarnish her reputation on the show. But I think if anything, just admit it off camera. If you don't want to admit it on camera, just admit it off camera and make right by the situation. But I do believe Marie, after hearing everything she had to say in that interview, and it really made me feel bad for, even though I joke and play all the time, I joan on people, I joan on myself, but hearing her go through what she goes through with lupus and understanding why her hair was the way it was this season, I was like, I'm gonna retire my Hulk Hogan jokes. I'm not gonna make them anymore. It's not funny. I really felt bad for her. I really honestly did. And she's a really strong woman, and a lot of her characteristics remind me of myself and everything that I've gone through. So shout out to Marie. Hopefully they can just start anew, start fresh, because I like Latrice and Marie getting along. I think that they could be a dynamic duo with each other on this show. I would love to see Latrice, Letitia, and Marie be a trio. I would absolutely love it. So, Marie says, we going to continue to work on this. Not saying we friends, but we working towards it. And Latrice agrees. So Latrice then brings up this whole situation with Tambra telling them that Akeisha called them ugly. And Latrice on confession was like, I know she wasn't talking about me. And I want to know why they ugly. Why are they ugly? I need to know that. Because why wasn't Tambra ugly? Like, is it a light-skinned chocolate thing? Like, what's going on with that? So they also said that Tambra was like, Akeisha can be shady, she this, that, and the third. So they confused by the whole situation. Like, if you know she's all these negative things, then why are you even hanging around her? So then Letitia ends up bringing up the Taisha situation with Damon and them allegedly having this emotional connection, and that how when she brought it up to Tambra, she felt like Tambra was being very defensive, and once again she wants to get the truth out of her because she can't defend her if she don't tell the truth. And I'm like, you don't need to defend her. What the fuck you gotta defend her for? She ain't did shit. That's their business. So I didn't really understand where Letitia was coming from with that. That was weird, but they say they gonna all get together and they gonna put everything out on the table once and for all, and I can't wait. So then we finally, remember last week I said, why haven't we gotten the scene with JJ and So Gucci? And we finally did. So we get to see them at home, and she lets us know that they have been together for 15 years but only married for 5 years. She has 2 kids, a handsome, fine-ass son, and a daughter named Dee, who is currently pregnant. And we all know that JJ got, 3 kids, his twin daughters, Sky and Star, and then Sanji. And she was like, yes, we've had our issues and all that. But the problem is that her daughter Dee is still living with them, and she's pregnant, and they want to get their freak on, child, and little mama is hindering them. She got to get the fuck up out of there and go. So Gucci brings up this whole situation with Letitia and Glenn, and how Letitia told her that Glenn got a side baby, and I was like, well, that ain't been confirmed yet. So I'm confused, because she made it seem like Letitia told her verbatim, yeah, he got another kid, but as far as we know, as for what we saw on the show, that hasn't been clarified whether or not he do got a kid or not. So which one is it? So JJ was like, well, while y'all getting together, I'm gonna get the guys together for this fishing trip, because it's 2 sides to every story, and you just can't believe what the woman say. You gotta hear what the guys gotta say as well. So he's going to confront Glenn about this alleged side baby when they go fishing. And I was like, child, so Gucci and JJ are messy, and I am here for the shenanigans. So later on that day, from when Latrice, Marie, and Letitia met up for lunch, later on that day is Joshua's birthday party. So she's having his birthday party at one of them little game places where the kids go run and play and eat pizza and all that shit. So she's pissed off because the Spider-Man cake she got for Joshua Glenn was the one that picked it up, and he had it in the car when they got into it early at the parking lot. So when he sped off, acting like he fucking Vin Diesel in Fast and the Furious, the cake slid, and the cake ended up sliding over to Joshua's name and kind of like covering it up. So of course she was pissed off, because why is you doing all that and the baby cake in the fucking car, just doing too much? So that would have pissed me off, because bitch, you would have went and got my baby another motherfucking cake, because you got me fucked to the up. So Latrice and Marie, and they end up showing up, and what's her name, Letitia and Glenn are cutting the cake for the kids, and Latrice is over there at the table, and she says to Glenn, I'm glad you're not upset with me anymore. He was like, well, never said that. Gotta give it to Glenn, the nigga is straightforward. And so Letitia was like, he upset with everybody, and Latrice like, Glenn, you can't be upset with everybody and in the building. And he was like, the whole building got a problem. So it's just off, child. It is just off. Attitudes is flying everywhere. Latrice trying to keep it cute. Letitia and Glenn keep on arguing back and forth, saying little snide shit to each other. She tell him to stay over there by the cake while she go open up gifts with their son. And he was like, I'm not about to stand over here while my son over there opening up gifts. What the fuck is you saying? Like, hell no. So after they do the whole opening up gifts thing, the kids go outside to play. So now it's just going to be the adults in the room. So Glenn and Tisha are steady, off into the corner having their words or whatever. And he tell her, it's her attitude. And she was like, you're not about to embarrass me in front of everybody. And it's just a mess, child. So then we see Glenn go over to Cliff so he gets some advice from him, because, he the OG, he been married, he's seasoned. And he tells Cliff about how, he been having people following Letitia because it's dangerous in Jackson. And Cliff just looking at this nigga with a grin on his face like, nigga, who the fuck is you talking to with this bullshit? Like, damn well you ain't got nobody following your wife because it's so-called dangerous in Jackson. You are following her to make sure her ass don't find somebody that's better than you that actually treat her right. But okay, girl, I'm gonna play along with you. All right. So Cliff in his confessional was like, you the one did all this, you reap what you sow. And I was like, you should have told him that shit to his motherfucking face. But I'm glad that that Cliff, aka Howard Hewitt, was on some shit like, I'm not gonna, co-sign your foolishness. You did this. You put your marriage into this type of, situation. So Letitia then walks in and catches them having a conversation, and she was like, I hope and pray that if you gonna be talking to him, you better be telling him the truth. And they get to going back and forth again, and she tell Glenn that his ego need fixing and that he needs to get himself together. And he was like, but you're not gonna disrespect me though. And, he trying to boss up and shit, because I guess he felt like she was little oaking him in front of everybody. And so Marie and Latrice trying to pull her away, and then Howard Hewitt getting in the middle, because the whole thing was just embarrassing. It's y'all son birthday party. It's people around. Like, y'all don't want everybody in y'all business. And at the end of the day, this is y'all son birthday party. Say that shit for your own time. And Latrice in her confession was like, Cliff loved kids. He, was pushing him away because he didn't want to see them get into it in front of the kids. And she was like, and I love kids too, just as long as I ain't got to have them. I'm like, girl, when you go tell this man you don't want no motherfucking kids? So Marie ended up telling Letitia, y'all need to bring it together, like, because y'all gonna end up going through the same thing I'm going through right now, and it's going to affect y'all son the most out of all of this. And Letitia and Latrice then go outside and they talking or whatever, and she just says, personally, she's doing a good job. She's really happy with her life, separately. But she's still hurting, and Glenn just don't understand that, and she starts to cry. And I feel bad for Letitia, but at some point you just got to know when to say when and to let certain shit go. Because, like, it's obvious y'all have grown into two different directions in life. He's still stuck. He is still stuck trying to relive y'all teenage years that he didn't have, I guess, because y'all got together so young. And he's not mature. He still act like a kid. Like, Marie and her grandson then meet up with Akeisha and her son for a little play date. And Marie was like, she's not going to bring up, what she heard about her allegedly calling them ugly. She just wants to get to know her for herself and give her a chance and, get to know her so she can see, is this lady real or is she on some bullshit? The kids end up just loving each other immediately. They hug, and it was just so cute to see the little boys just hugging each other and playing. It was so super cute. And Marie and Akeisha sit down and have a conversation, and Akeisha brings up what happened to Marie's grandson's mom and how she could just never imagine anything like that happening, and she gets tearful, because she's a mom and an older mom, and so she just could never see herself being without her kids. And, Marie is now a full-time grandparent because her son is still in college. And, Marie just got a lot going on with that. Her businesses, her own 2 children that she's still raising, or 1 child. I forgot how many more that she's still raising that are her own. And plus, her lupus flare-ups. Like, she got a lot going on. Plus filming for this show. It's just a lot. That's a lot for anybody to deal with. So I'm happy that we got to see a softer side of Akeisha, but then you have that other prickly side to her that I don't really care for. But she also goes on to state how she really likes Marie and sees a lot of herself in her, and she feels like they have a lot in common. So we'll see where this little friendship goes, if anywhere. So we see Glenn, Cliff, JJ, and Akeisha's husband. They all get together to go fishing. And JJ immediately says to Glenn, I'd heard a lot about you. So Glenn was like, yeah, me and my wife going through some stuff, and it's all because of a rumor, people going around saying that I had a baby on her. And they were like, well, did you cheat? He was like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, I did cheat, but he don't think that it resulted in the baby. So Cliff was like, well, have you seen the child? He was like, yeah. He was like, do it look like you? He was like, I mean, well, everybody that's black got a big nose. And Akeisha's husband was like, I don't think that's true. He was so confused. He was like, what in the ghetto do my wife got me involved in? So Glenn goes to tell all the guys that he feels like the girl was pregnant before they even started fucking around. And so Akeisha's husband just standing there like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know what these niggas is talking about. I'm just here, goddammit. He's so square and just out the loop, child. It was funny as hell to me. So JJ was like, I'm sitting and my wife and Latrice sitting up having a conversation, and lo and behold, as they talking, I'm finding out that my ex was sleeping with Cliff. And Cliff just standing there like, oh God, Lord Jesus. So apparently when he was married to Sanjay and their mama, she was cheating on him with Cliff, the tree guy. He was like, he used to see this truck around his house all the time and was wondering where the fuck this tree truck come from. Child, I was gagging, cracking the fuck up. So then Akeisha's husband ended up asking them, I know y'all from Mississippi. I'm an out-of-towner. Can y'all tell me what's so special about living in Mississippi outside of infidelity? Child. The shade of it all. Glenn was looking like, nigga, now don't push it. Okay? Do not push it. But the shit was funny. It's the day of the sistervention, child. And it's Tamra, Akeisha, Letitia, So Gucci, Latrice, and Latrice manager, publicist lady Melanie. Now Marie can't make it because she had a lupus flare up, so she gonna be on FaceTime, child. So Akeisha popped shit off and was like, shit, I didn't even know if I was gonna be invited today because I heard it was another event that I wasn't invited to. So Tamra then was like, I wanted to bring us all together because I don't like all the he said, she said. And Latrice in her confessional was like, basically, she got her nerve because she knew what she was doing when she told us that Akeisha allegedly called us ugly or whatever. She knew that she would be stirring stuff up and would make Akeisha public enemy number 1. So I agree with Latrice on that. Like, you don't like a bunch of he said, she said, then you should have never came back and told them nothing. So it's then brought up that some guy by the name of Josh that was at the rebirth party went back and told Akeisha what was being said about her when she wasn't there. So Letitia was like, well, I'm gonna tell you how everything went down. They go back over everything, and she tells her that Tamra told her that Akeisha was shady. And Tamara was like, no, I said she could be shady, that she could be shady, like throw shade, like she could throw shade. Not that she could be shady, that she throws shade. And so then it's a whole argument about, do the girl throw shade, or is she shady? Is it throwing shade? Is it shade? And da 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 da. So Keisha was like, well, regardless, throwing shade, being shady or whatever shouldn't even be in the same conversation as my name, because I'm not that type of person. And Letitia was like, well, I just want you to know, based off what Tamara told me, that she felt, with her saying that you were shady, I thought when you came to my brunch and you just started going in about the place and this, and the third, I'm thinking that you coming, being shady and starting stuff. She was like, do you get that? And she was like, yeah, I understand that. And then so right then and there, I felt like they was on the same page. They both agreed that, okay, now I see, because you had this interpretation of who I was before I got there. And that wasn't even what I was on, according to Akeisha. But then Letitia was like, but, and I was like, but she was agreeing with you. So where's the but? It was like she was arguing that, no, that wasn't it. Because she then went on to say, but you kept going that day. So they just going back and forth. I really feel like at this point, it's like a miscommunication. And then the whole argument about what Tamra said versus what Tamra didn't say, and all this stuff comes up, and then it's basically left off on a cliffhanger, child, for next week. And it seemed like Tamra is going to basically say that Akeisha was saying these things, and she did call them ugly. Child, it's gonna be a mess, hot diggity damn mess. Overall, I give tonight's episode of Belle Collective, I give tonight's episode a B++. It seems like next week's episode is going to be really good. It's something about Damon that I got my eye on now. I want to like him, but now I'm suspicious of him. Glenn is just a walking ass contradiction. I just want Letitia to move on with her life, child, and let it go like Elsa. Tamra, she contradicts herself too, child. Really like Latrice this episode. JJ was funny as hell. Love seeing the guys together. I want to see more of that. I really love that dynamic of those guys together, because they all have such different personalities. JJ is like the country goofball. Glenn is like the wannabe hot boy hood nigga. Cliff is the older established guy. And then Akeisha husband gives me very much, what's the butler name from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Give me very much him, try to be a studious and I don't really know what's going on. Who are these niggers? Like, I like them all together. I want to see more of the guys on Belle Collectives. I think that was a really cute, funny scene and everything. But yeah, I'm loving this season. Loving this season a lot. Let me know what y'all thought about tonight's episode down below in the comment section, you guys. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.